Oh my gosh. What? Woo! 3 million. I mean, this is really a huge difference when you compare it with a normal account. What else should you do with your money? You know, this guy is super active. Have you ever wondered how it looks like inside of a young whale account within Rise of Kingdoms? Then stay tuned for the video, because we have the once in a lifetime opportunity to check RigaRo's account and go through every single detail. And I am curious to find out which difference you have when you're spending that much within such a game. So let us directly hop into the account and don't waste any more time. So we directly start with a little bit of an overview. 110 million power and 7 billion kill points. Guys, please always have in mind when we talk about this account that it's nearly 850 days old. So it's really young compared to the other whales I know within the game. And having in mind 7 billion kill points in this time, by knowing that I am playing 400 days less and having 500 millions, I know that this guy is super active. But let us check all the details. We directly see the highest amount of power was at 165 million power. So he lost 55 million already, which is enormous. But having in mind that we are right now at the end of an KVK, which means that there are still troops that are coming back, the power will increase really soon again. But I am quite sure not 165 million. 28.7 million dead troops, guys. I need to 4, 5, 6 times my troops at all to have these numbers. And this is just what he had on dead troops. It's crazy. I'm done, guys, already. Just on the more information page and I'm already done. He gathered 6 billion. He assisted with 13.8 billion. Yeah, knowing that he's a spender, this is just how it looks like being a whale. Okay, so let us check on his commander page. The ranger is Minamoto. I mean, it's fine. What do you do with Minamoto normally? You're going to hunt some barbarians, so it really makes sense for me. Matilda as Gatherer, also fine. Having in mind Tariq for the rallies and Zenobia for the garrison, it also makes sense. Yeah, what do I have to say? Sarka as supply captain as well makes a lot of sense. You might have picked someone else, like Cleopatra, for example, but yeah, however, Alexander Nevsky as charge captain makes absolute sense, having in mind that he is so flexible right now and you can use him in so many situations, for example in the rallies. And as constable, Scipio Africanus Prime, the troop defense, the health, it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. I mean, you will see in a couple of minutes that there is way more of commanders available, which I know from playing with him, but yeah, I would say those are definitely solid picks. So let us check on his current troop counts. What do we say? Woo! 3 million infantry T5, 1.25 million cavalry T5s, and 755,000 T5s of archers. Yeah, I think the rest we don't mind, so this is completely fine. And we have to have in mind that from the last KVK, he for sure has some dead troops. Whoa, okay, 3 million dead troops, 1.5 million infantry, 1 million cavalry, and 385,000 archers. It's sick, guys. I mean, this is more than I have in total. So, wow. I mean, this is really a huge difference when you compare it with a normal account. It's thick. So, I mean, as a whale, for sure, VIP 18, what shall I say? I see that he has purchased a lot of the golden chests already. So, whew. Okay, what else should you do with your money, you know? And 95,000 gems. More than I ever had. Crazy. I mean, why you should collect your resources if you have enough? I don't care. And I really have to say that Riga already started to share some of his resources as we are on the way to migrate it, as he stated in the last video. So Woo! And he still has some wounded troops. Not too much, but not less as well. Okay, so let us look at first into his items. I am always curious to see what happens here, and it doesn't wonder me when it comes to the amount of resources. Oh my gosh. What? These are millions over millions. I mean, it's billions of resources he has in his stash. Just by having in mind the number of those universal resource packs. Woo! Sick! But what I else see is the number of VIP points. And I mean, this gives you an impression of how much spending we are talking about. I mean, have in mind that he already is VIP 18, so he invested an enormous amount of VIP points already, and still has only 49,000 VIP points left. 14,100 packs. Whoa. Wow. This would help my account a lot. I take them, but I think it's worth it to save them up, because we all know from the rumors around that VIP 19 might come in the near future. And yeah, sure, if you have 95,000 gems on your pocket, why you shouldn't have even more in your bag? I'm slightly flash, to be honest. I'm slightly flash. It's really hard for me to work with those numbers. So let us check his speed ups. For sure, a huge amount of building speed ups. I mean, if you have everything maxed, what should you build? So you do just take them to exchange them. Still, a huge number of training troops speed ups. So I mean, it's really not a number where I would say you can push for Zenith or something like that, but it's still a huge number, and I would be absolutely happy to have these numbers on my account. Woo! Research speed ups, I mean, it's more or less the same as for the building speed ups. Once you are maxed out, what shall you do with them? You just use them in the beginning of the KVK, and especially if you are a high spender like Riga, you get a huge amount of those speed ups. So really sick. When it comes to the healing speed ups, we already see that he's really much burned out. I mean, you don't have to count this small amount here, but then we have to look on the universal speed ups. Whew. I mean, I never had those numbers, not even close to that. So this is a sick amount, 78,000 minutes just from the 1 minute packages. We have 300 times the 24 hours, 200 times the 8 hours. So this is as well not the hugest amount I have seen, but it's definitely a huge number, and you can do a lot. So if he really wants to push further on his account on an event, then he definitely will take place 1 in our kingdom. I am really sure, even if we migrate to the new kingdom. So from a boost perspective, he still has a good filled portfolio. I think his pockets are really good, especially when you look at the 20,000 packages, 97. So this is sick. And I mean, 100 times the advanced armory expansion. You know, he really is willing to fight like a beast. So completely sick. Over the equipment, I will go in a minute, but just seeing what he still has in his pockets, and I know that he's still crafting a little bit on his 7th set, if he told me correctly and I remember correctly. So this is really sick. Let us come to the commanders. Okay, I just open it up and think, okay, nice. So we have Constantine maxed, YSG maxed, CC maxed, Richard maxed, Minamoto, Charles, wow. Does it have an end? We definitely see that he has Guan Yu. We see William not maxed so far, but a Zenobia, a Trajan, Pakal as well. Flavius we have here definitely maxed as well. Skippy, Tarek, we have Boudica maxed, we have Heracles maxed, we have Saracen maxed, and we have Justinian maxed. And if I see it right, we have Gorgo on 5541, and we have as well 5311 Huokubing. So it really looks like those are the next heroes he's going for. And there is a Jan Siska on 5411. So I really could imagine that he has stopped investing in him. I really will ask him for that, because I am currently still spending some sculptures into Jan to get at least one good Kaf garrison. Yeah, this looks crazy. Wow, a lot of commanders that he has maxed out. And now it is time to go through the equipment page. And what we've directly see is that he has not this huge amount of numbers of materials, which we sometimes see on older whale accounts. But what we see is that there are a lot of different blueprints available. And combining those both things, I think that we can expect that there are not everything completely fully special talented iconic gears available. And we see directly that there is a lot of gear already on legendary level. Woohoo! Especially when it comes to the Rings of Doom and the Horn of Fury. Wow, a dagger as well. Man, this is a lot of legendary gear, having in mind that this account is just 850 days old. But as I've already stated, not everything is special talented, and there is where the money ends. Because even though if you purchase and invest a huge amount of money, there are not that many packages available that allow you to purchase materials. And that is the limiting factor, because we all know that we need a huge amount of materials to craft legendary gear. And the other factor for most of the players to get their hands on the blueprints. But as you can see, we have not a problem of blueprints, we really have a problem of materials to go for everything to special talented. And the older account is getting, and the easier you can gather over time the different parts and special talented legendary gears. And I mean, we all know there is as well some RNG. So if you have not that much luck while crafting, you might even end up with not that much special talented gear at the beginning. And we see that there was not that much fighting ongoing in the last days, because you already can see on the different commanders that are equipped with the gear that, for example, Richard has some gear equipped, and I see a special talented set, which means that he definitely was farming a lot barbarians with Richard right now over the last days. And we see that he's working on a archer gear set. Yeah, we see an archer gear set right now incoming, but it's not completed. So there are still, besides all, so I really have to say once again, the number of Rings of Dooms and Fury Horns is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I have not one in my account right now, and it's half the age, so woohoo! And one is already special talented for Tariq for infantry. Wow. But what we see is that he still has some of the epic gear left. And yeah, I mean, this definitely shows that he's a young whale account and that he still has a road to go. And having in mind the upgrading versions of the gear, which are coming soon. Man, hopefully there are some new packages that giving you materials and blueprints with the new update. Then, wow. But yeah, I'm so impressed. I actually have not even half of the amount of legendary gear, and not even half of them is special talented. And I think when we look to the commanders, for example, here to Richard, yeah, guys, we directly see fully iconic, fully special talented. This is sick. And I think the same would be, yeah, if we go to Nevsky, a lot of special talented, everything is iconic. Man. this will really hurt. And here's what I've stated before. We see the incoming archer set he's working on. So this will definitely be interesting in a couple of weeks and months when he has more material gained. I think then everything is paying out what he has invested in. And when I go all over the different gear sets in the equipment list, yeah, we definitely see that he's working on his 7th fully set right now. So yeah, wow, this is sick. I'm impressed. I'm impressed what the difference between those 400 days and a lot of money is. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, I would be happy if I have 3 complete legendary sets right now. And I'm not there. I'm not there, guys. And seeing now those round about 6 completed sets, it's impressive. It's very impressive. Last but not least, we have to talk about the armaments of this account. And I will not go through everything, because what we've already seen is that there is a huge amount of armaments available, and everything which is locked means that he's saving it up for a special situation that he wants to keep it. So there's a lot of armaments in his account, and that's why I just will focus on some of them. And for example, let's go to Richard. What do we see on Richard? We see a little bit of attack, defense and health, so it's just indicating with the march speed to get and the onslaught that he is using him for farming, so good to know. On Saladin we see as well the wedge formation, but without any special attributes, but a little bit more of stats. Yeah, but there are really the inscriptions missing. So let's check on what do we have. Guan will for sure have some better stats. Yeah, here we see the brutal and the cleanser inscriptions. We see as well the 5.8% infantry health, and something which is most of the time really lacking when it comes to infantry, the march speed. 5% march speed additionally is really, this is quite good. It's a lot and really hard to get. What do we see on Trajan? We see march speed, we see defense, we see attack, we see the enrichment inscription, which is not really senseful, but yeah, sometimes you cannot choose what inscription you have when it first comes to getting some new gear. And we have the increased march speed as well. We have Nevsky, so the one I'm really interested in. And we see nearly 10% of cavalry health. We see cavalier attack, we see defense, and we see march speed combined with all damage. So I think this is a really round package, but it's still missing inscriptions. So we really have to talk with Riga about his formations. I think there is something he can upgrade. But now we come to his worthy set with the hunter, with the fit. We have attack, defense and health and march speed and all damage. Yeah, man, I would say your Flavius formations, nice. I like them. And we see Skippy as well with Iron Roll. We see as well the respite inscription. And we see a lot of defense, 8.8 additional defense, 2.7% march speed and 2.3% all damage. Don't miss this out. It also counts to it. So I would say this is a good choice of formations as well. And we talk about Boudica. Boudica has, wow, 9% additional health, 6.6% defense, 5% attack, and we have the march speed. And from an inscription perspective, we have Enrage, which gives you additional skill damage, which is quite nice. But having in mind the smite meta incoming, there might be some changes on the formation in the future. So yeah, what do we have on Tariq? I'm interested in this as well. We see health, we see defense, we see attack speed, all damage, so quite nice. and some normal extra damage, which more plays into the smite meta game. But yeah, I think then the wedge formation might not be the perfect match, but this really comes to the point, which commander pairings are you playing in the future, Riga? We should talk about it. I'm interested in. Woo! Yeah, and anything else to mention? Yeah, Justinian has as well some formations. Defense, health, a huge amount. Attack, we have the all damage a little bit, and we have fit, which gives you additional health as well, very good. So in total, we have here over 9% additional health, which is more or less one gear item. And we have the extra skill damage combined with the wedge formation, 7.5% additional skill damage. It's a huge amount. And the all damage then combines as well. So we're talking about over 8% additional damage. It's adding up, guys. It's adding up. I am still completely flashed what I have seen in this account. So many maxed out commanders, a huge amount of gear when I have those 850 days of playtime in my mind. And the special talents, the iconics, woo! The formations, I mean, we are still working on them. You have to invest crazy amounts to really get your hands, and then you have a huge amount of luck that you need to really proceed with that. And I would say, Riga, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to go through your account. I really enjoyed it, and if you had enjoyed this as well, don't forget to smash the subscribe button to see even more content. And if you want, I will link you here a video from Riga and his thoughts about the migration.